James Rude, 25 High Ridge Road. Good evening. In the April 2025 financial report, the disbursement of the uninsured $2 million Gilead legal settlement paid in October 2024, as well as the related $1.4 million of legal fees paid in the last several months, were reflected in line 015 legal expense. Also reflected in the April financial report is a $3.4 million increase in the related budget from the May 7, 2024 town-approved budget referendum value of approximately $236,000 to a new value of approximately $3,636,000. This increase in the budget is exactly the amount of the final cost to the town of this legal matter. The same information is reflected in the May 2025 financial report included in today's meeting package. I have two questions that I hope to have answered. The first, I would like to understand whether the Town Council, the Board of Finance, and the taxpayers of the Town of Cromwell have approved this adjustment to budgeted 2025 amounts. And item number two, if there has been such an approval for this $3.4 million budget adjustment for 2025, I would like to understand how the approvals have occurred. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you for your comments. Public comment. Anybody else? Public comment. If not, we'll move to close citizens' comments. And seemed anyone here, so I don't think we have one tonight. I didn't get anything submitted, right? So we didn't have anything submitted from anybody?
No, she didn't submit anything.
Thank you. Okay, great. New business. First item, review and approval of tax collector suspense list of $122,730.32. We did. Yes. Yeah. Brian, would you like to come up and talk us through the suspense list, please?
Good evening. So the state of Connecticut statute 12165 requires that the tax collector in each town annually submit a list of at least one bill they deem to be uncollectible. So for this year, I prepared the list that I sent in advance, and the suspense list I'm proposing is consisting of taxpayers that have motor vehicle records that are now deceased, and also the motor vehicle, the supplemental motor vehicle, and personal property bills that have not yet been collected for the years 2014 and 2015 grand list. So those are 9-year-old bills. Being on the suspense list doesn't change our ability or right to still collect these bills. They're still with a collection agent, so it doesn't do anything other than for, say, analytical reasons, and it's audited that we don't have these on an asset list once they're approved. Do you have any questions?
Go around. James. Any?
No questions.
Ed? Dan? Good. James?
Sorry, Brian, what did you say in that last part? They're not on our asset list? Meaning?
Yeah, the reason for the statute is so that municipalities review their unpaid, uncollected taxes, and to ensure that they're not on an asset list, that we're counting these as collectible and as part of our, say, financial calculations.
prior to this, these items, or the ones that weren't on here last year, would have been considered a future accounts recievable.
Potentially, I would defer that part to finance. But okay. If someone asks the collector, it's common that they ask for a with suspense or without suspense, and that gets audited as well.
I see. Okay, thanks. Okay.
Hey, Brian, just a couple of quick questions. It looks like these are 2014, 2015, so is it sort of standard practice? This is like a 10-year period where they finally show up on the suspense list?
Well, the thinking is that every 3 years, if you have a motor vehicle, you have to get your car re-registered. If you have an open tax bill, you're unable to register your vehicle. So it starts to raise a flag after, say, a motor vehicle bill is 4 or 5 years old. It's at least been through one cycle. So the suspicion, for most part, they've left the state or deceased or something like that. So this is a kind of a conservative, because these have been through 3 cycles where if they live in this state and they want to get a car registered, they have to pay these bills.
And then, is this, is interest added to these? Like, is this the amount we're seeing is not really the original amount? This is probably with interest, is that how
That's
that works?
correct, yep.
If not, could I get a motion to approve the tax collector suspense list of $122,730.32?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. So then we have review and approval of interdepartmental transfers for fiscal year '25.
So the first transfer is because our town planner position is vacant. And the reason, so we're using the salary for that to do this, but we separated out, the old town planner is coming back part-time, and we separated out his hours by department, and that's why I have to move some money to economic development. And then the second one is because the budget got cut down to $1, so I have to transfer money. And then, of course, the higher than anticipated tax refunds for the year.
James, questions?
No questions?
So, there's a charter revision commission that has begun,
Correct.
okay? And we, appropriated nothing.
We put $1 in each line, yeah.
Close to that. And so you are expecting them to expend $300 this year, this fiscal?
Yes, because they've already had meetings, so I'm paying the commission clerk, and they bought some binders for the committee.
Can you do that before we make this change?
They started the meetings, I didn't even know they started the meetings until I got a commission clerk voucher in.
Right, but somebody must have authorized the payment of that clerk, right?
Council.
Once again, somebody,
Council.
right, does the council have that power? I thought you had that power.
The council is the one that appointed the members,
Right. They can create a,
and they started a meeting.
right,
So Ed, I know you're, it's a valid point for sure, beyond me, and you're so much more into it. I guess, what do you wanna try to get out of that, though? I know, I hear it, do you want like the Board of Finance to write a letter to the town councilors? Like, I'm just trying to figure out where you wanna go with this. I think everyone
No, I
knows
mean,
somehow it was done should have been done the way it was. I think
Right.
people are just trying to get something done, so they got it done fair, but
Right.
like, what do you think would you like to see happen?
Well, again, the last time this happened, we referred it to the state's attorney and an extensive hearing on how it happened. Again, that was a lot more money. But I thought we had learned our lesson.
Is it like again, a letter to James, just reminding them that they have to be able to
Well, I think
follow a
it's to-
process?
I think
I
it's
mean,
to the town manager. I mean, I believe there,
There was no heat.
there's
I
paperwork.
do not remember a heating system.
This is whatever it was that First Selectman Shingleton did, where he put in some substantial system. I thought it was heating or cooling or in some way related to that.
No, there was a grant that was,
No.
I think, misappropriated.
No, that wasn't.
Heating system, I'm not aware, I don't remember.
There was a substantial amount of money that needed approval of this board, and then needed to be approved by, it was so large that it needed to be approved by a town meeting. And we had not done any of that.
I don't remember that.
That absolutely happened.
Probably
Some
did.
version of that, the exact, number and so forth, again, maybe I'm forgetting what this system was for, but it was substantial. And we had substantial hearings and it was a substantial problem. I know what we did the last time.
a little bit much for this case, I
It
think.
seems extreme, but again, the question is not the amount, it's the process. And the most upsetting thing I've heard is hearing that we've done it before. It's like, well, geez, I hope not. I don't think I was aware of it before, if some of the changes we made were for previously expended amounts. And it's, at the very least, it's really bad bookkeeping. At the most, again, it's a crime. I assume we're not at that level. But, that is the range.
So I think you definitely made your point, people have heard it.
I'm voting no.
And that's okay, right, exactly, and of course you can, oh, that'll be interesting, so I guess, oh boy, do we have to do these individually then?
Yes, please,
Okay.
do them individually.
Just,
As long as we're doing this, is the second part is also part for the clerk. How much was the first, clerk's? Well, I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out
the
how much has been expended so far for the commission.
So how many meetings have they had? So the clerk gets $75,
I would say, maybe two.
and they spent $9 on something for supplies.
So a reasonable understanding of this would be that the second one is for things that have already happened. And the third one is for expenses in the future, largely.
Yes?
Aren't they both going to the same place?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, why does it say tax collector?
All these three are for different things.
Right, but the
So I should
introductory
have put more
language for the
spacing between them.
charter revision.
It's
If I put
below.
more spacing between them, it would
Sure,
have been.
it's the wording below it, yeah.
Yes, the wording for the description for the transfer is below the, it's below, so. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it in the wrong group.
just by way of clarification, explanation to what you just said to Tony, when you said we've had this before, you meant that we've made interdepartmental transfers before between departments which had budgets, which are expending money, and one budget needs more expenditure than another
Correct.
budget.
Yes.
That's correct, right? Not that we've had this situation where we started a committee, there was $1 in the budget, and we went and started expending against that committee ahead of these approvals.
Correct.
Thank you.
No, it begs the,
There you go, sure.
are we just saying fundamentally that when the budget for each department is set, that's kind of the ceiling, and once you reach that ceiling of expenditures, no expenditures shall be made until additional budget's been appropriated through a transfer process? Is that the rules of the road? Okay. I'm just looking like Public Works they're at 99.8%. I mean, there's $700 left. This was as of May.
Encumbrances.
Does that include,
All I'm saying is,
That includes encumbrances, and we've
Encumbrances.
since closed a lot of those. That's
Yeah.
the May report.
yes,
We start closing encumbrances in June.
I don't know what all that means,
It's
like
like
what the-
projected expenses.
Yep, you project these expenses to happen.
Yeah.
But if, again, Public Works, I don't know if someone's like, hey, we gotta have overtime because someone gotta replace the fence
I
over
have
there
been
fell
s-
and it's a hazard, we need to pay the person, like, would that also breach it? I mean,
I've been sitting with Public Works on a weekly basis
yeah.
to,
No, I'm just saying, like, it's,
Hypothetical.
yeah, I'm just having a
and there
hypothetical.
are emergency exceptions.
That's all I'm saying is like, geez, if you,
Expenses that exceed your budget, right? There's no way to perfectly budget.
well, it sounds like, no, like,
Specific number.
it sounds like we better not ever see something over 100% on this percent use
Right,
column.
Unless
Unless we've
emergency
previously,
situation.
okay, all right, that's all I'm asking is like, what's the protocol? Cause, I understand trying to manage to budget, but you gotta have some flexibility if, for provision, okay,
Yes
Yeah.
is the answer.
yeah, okay. I'm good, thank you. And then, yeah, with why we approving, sorry, I don't know what we're saying we're giving the tax collector an extra 5,500 to cover higher than anticipated tax refunds, what's the?
yeah, so every month he goes to council with a refund list. And if you want more information, I'm gonna have to defer to
why
Brian
does it
for
cost
that.
more?
Brian, you might just.
Sorry.
Quick, no, it's a
Just
good
quick.
question. No, yeah, it's a good question.
So, refunds are budgeted, they're prior year refunds, so they're not netting against the current year tax collection,
I'm sorry,
so-
it's refunds, meaning we're sending money
Yeah,
out.
so
All
it's,
done.
it's
All
a
good. I
taxpayer,
thought-
it's a
I
taxpayer.
thought we were getting a refund.
Yeah, no, it's a taxpayer
all
that
good.
has overpaid a tax and
Yes.
gets a refund.
But Brian, just to be clear, if it were current year,
It goes
you
against
would net it
collection.
out yourself
Correct,
before it came into the budget.
correct.
It's only with regard to prior
Prior year
years that we have a budgeted amount that you need
okay.
to exceed.
That's
Gotcha.
correct,
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, all set.
All right, let's try this. So can I get a motion to approve an interdepartmental transfer in the amount of $3,500 from the town planner to economic development?
So moved.
Second,
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion passes unanimously. Could I get a motion to approve an interdepartmental transfer of $310 from the general expense line to charter revision?
So moved.
second,
Okay, other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No abstain, so 4 in favor, 2 opposed, motion passes. Could I get a motion to approve an interdepartmental transfer of $5,500 from employee benefits to the tax collector line?
So moved.
second,
Any other discussion? Not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Sharon. Alrighty, so now now we have the approval of the minutes from previous meetings. So a couple things. First of all, there's a lot of them. So if you weren't at the meeting, you won't be able to vote on them. And you really won't have any comments on them either, really. At least you shouldn't. I don't know, maybe you will if you find a typo or something like that, generally. But feel free, if you want to say something, of course, say something. And then, just so everyone's knowledge, the minutes from May 6th will be the next time the Board of Finance gets together. So we have 5 sets to go through. Please, please.
Why do you think people can't vote on
Well, I guess I figured if they weren't present, they weren't here for the discussion. I guess they could have watched it.
It's not uncommon for people to abstain, but I'm wondering why.
Oh, you mean you could abstain? Oh, no, of course you could abstain. I guess you can't vote in favor. Okay, I don't know how that
Why
work.
couldn't you?
If you weren't here?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't think you could do that. If they had to be like here or part of the meeting or so, you can,
Because
I think you want to hear all the dialogue. You want to hear, how would you hear the background to this?
I am agreeing with you that it is probably the better course.
Got it, I'm seeing,
Action.
I get your point. Okay, fair.
That's different to say you are prohibited
Fair.
from voting.
Okay, fair. No, thank you. That's a good education for me. Thank you. Okay. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 27th, 2025?
So moved.
Are
Oh,
this, is this to approve the minutes?
Yes.
yeah, we're just,
I mean, I had one minor typo.
oh, that's okay.
Well, we'll go into
we motion
discussion
yeah.
and then we'll discuss a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yep, fair.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, great.
Second,
All right,
third.
so, any other, what's the discussion? Do folks have questions on the minutes?
I guess I had one minor typo that I noticed in, item I. The word minutes was misspelled. Nothing major.
Oh, good catch. I had one other on that same one. I thought you were gonna take mine, you know that? So I think it says 6 in favor, 1 abstain. I think it can only be 5 and 1, for a total of 6. Any other comments or thoughts on the minutes?
Is that because Chris was seated and then Matt showed up or something like that? I can't remember.
That could be, but on any one particular item, it would be revert back to whatever the 6 people, it wouldn't have 7 voting on something. Okay, all those in favor of approving the amended minutes with the word minutes correct, and 5 in favor, 1 abstain for item I. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the public hearing of April 3rd, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? If folks are looking at that? Are folks ready to vote on them, or do you guys folks need a minute still? Andrew, everyone good? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstain? Great, great, motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 3rd, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Great, discussion, comments, anybody catch anything in there? I have a question. Gotta go through a couple pages. I didn't have anything myself. A lot of detail in there, of course.
Can I just make a recommendation for the future?
Please.
You know, there is a requirement that our appropriations have an actual number of positive votes. So I think even when it's all in favor, it should probably say 6-0 or whatever. So I don't think we have to change it all here, but I'm just saying in the future.
Good point. Any other questions, comments, thoughts? so can I get a vote? All in favor to approve the minutes of April 3rd, special meeting? Aye. Opposed, abstained, okay, motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 7th, 2025?
So moved.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Gives folks a second to look at that. There's a lot of stuff in there too. My name's If folks are still looking, that's okay.
Yeah, give me another
Good.
minute there, wait.
Take your time.
Question, I guess, for Shannon. So, the way it says here is, the last thing that we did was appropriate general expenses budget of X, which we did. And then it says, made a motion to approve submission to the voters of the general fund budget. Is that what we call it?
Yes, we call it the general fund budget.
So we call the town debt budget, the general fund budget?
Yes.
How did I never know that? Okay.
See, we're all learning stuff.
Didn't we pick up, maybe I just missed it, I know the night before we were getting into the, CNR and some things that were
Right, the school
in the
CNR,
school
right?
and I didn't think we made it all the way through.
We made it all the way through that second night.
On the second night, yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, on the second night, we didn't start with that because the police chief was here, so we kinda hit those items first. I guess I just didn't remember where we re-picked up the CNR. Under debt services, okay, sorry. I'm just flipping too quickly. Oh. Okay, yeah, there's no additional heading on it, but that's probably why I was looking for like a heading, but, okay. I see. Under debt services, yeah. And what, I mean, it would be, is there a head, I don't know, what would the, just so, just for easy reference, what budget item was it under, just the CNR? Or we called it future?
The order that you went in, so after you did debt services, you started talking about it, so it wasn't really under a heading.
Oh, yeah,
I can in the future put a.
yeah, right here.
This is where we came
Like
back
on the
around to
first-
the
on the
Board of
first- Well, even on the
Education.
first night, we talked about
Board of Education.
Board of Ed, CNR,
And these are the Board of Ed CNR items, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
We had questions, he went off and then came back, right?
Just there, if we were to do something like above that heading, I'd have Board of Education CNR continued or something like that, or,
Yeah.
is that a?
I know, it's not a clean budget line item, I guess is the,
Mhm.
I see your point, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, got one change then to those minutes? Anything else? Any other thoughts, comments? If not, we have a motion on the table. All in favor with the one modification to add a little heading for Board of Ed, CNR, continued, right for those items related to the CNR.
So moved.
I think we have, I don't know if we have-
The continuity here is just,
yeah, just we're do we want to vote in favor of the amended? Yeah.
I thought that's what you were.
Sure, no, I think,
summarizing it.
no, we had a motion, so I think we're okay. I'm just saying we're gonna approve it, the motion
Yes.
amended with that one change.
Yes.
And all in favor, I think, is our next step. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed?
I actually
Oh.
voting in favor,
Okay,
because even though I wasn't here,
sure.
I was watching on TV.
Oh, nice. We could feel your presence, Ed, so we knew.
That's all what happened.
So I'm sorry, all in favor, just wanna do it again. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? abstain. Uh-oh. That I was too quick on the trigger?
No, no, just this,
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry, sir, this additional, right, after debt services, that block of text, just, maybe we probably need, when we reconsider the CNR stuff, you know, the first one we said is we made a motion to reconsider the 50 grand, for the thermal imaging, which is true, cause the night before, we approved it
Yeah.
to put on the list, so we reconsidered it, and then the motion to reconsider it was all in favor, motion passes. And then it just says, after brief discussion, there was general consensus to remove it from the list. Wouldn't we have,
No one made a motion.
no one made a motion? Okay, I guess it's in limbo, then. It's not on the list, okay. That's fine, and then the next one is a motion to bring back the tabled item for the 157K interior lighting. And then all opposed, motion failed. So what failed? The motion to bring it back? Okay, alright, so that's,
Well, let's ask,
guess that's all
let's
good.
ask a different question. What did we end up with?
ultimately, we did not include
Right.
I'm
that.
asking.
Zero.
Sure, you didn't make any changes based on those three actions.
Right.
Right, yeah. Okay. That's all, I just wanna make sure it left you
Yeah.
with that impression that
Hold it.
ties to
Yes,
it.
you did.
Well, yes, so,
The first one you did,
and then,
the first one you removed,
yes,
and the second two you did not.
right.
So that was the net result.
Okay,
Good question.
alright, okay. I'm good then, Steve.
Sorry, man, I was a little too quick.
No,
Sorry.
you're, no, it's
Sorry.
alright.
Okay, could I get a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 10th, 2025?
Second.
Discussion?
Steve, I did actually turn more to my attention, I did make a mistake on that one. It says Matt Legit arrived at, 5:10 when the meeting started at 5:30, so I didn't remove that part, I'm sorry.
Well, Matt likes to get early sometimes, I mean, I don't know.
There's no way I was here at 5:10, but it should just be I was here on time, right?
Matt, you asked her to put that in?
Please do not put the public record my arrival times. Thank you.
I'm sorry, do we have a motion, so moved or not?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So who-
There's motion second, yep.
Yeah, okay, good. So
And then
discussion?
other than striking the arrived at 5:10.
Any other comments?
Looks right.
You guys good?
Yep. Did you run this meeting too, Steve? Did we say Chris for John Ireland? So
Oh, yeah.
you chaired that meeting too?
Yeah, must have been. Cool.
It's 2 in a row.
I'm sorry, Ed, any questions or thoughts? Are you okay for now? Okay, good. All right, we had a motion on the table, so all in favor?
All right.
Opposed, abstained, okay. Thank you, we're done with the minutes. Great. Report of the town manager. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Things have been pretty quiet, actually. We're finishing up the end of the year, as the Director of Finance has stated. We're in the middle of negotiations with the Town Hall Union. Their contract is up the end of this month. We don't expect to have a new contract in that time, so the old one will remain in effect until we complete negotiations. As you can see, with economic development, Popeyes is in the process of, under construction. The cannabis dispensary is now open. Planning and zoning approved the apartments for the corner of Court Street and Shunpike. 100 Berlin Road is somewhat in limbo as to what the developer is doing there. We expected them to get going this construction season, especially in light of the request and receiving a $3 million brownfield grant. We have some other interests around town. We do have a commercial building going up on County Line Road, and that's about it.
Jamin, questions of any kind?
I'm all set for now.
Matt? Good. Dan?
I take it our termite issues taken care of, the termites, we feel
Yes.
safe in this room now?
Yep,
or
that was resolved.
was resolved? Good.
Yep, the repairs made and the termites addressed.
Excellent, thank you.
We are watching both through the COG, which is Council of Governments, actually several. The Council of Governments, CCM, Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, and the costs. While the governor vetoed House Bill 5002, very concerned about some provisions within that bill that take certain rights away from our local planning and zoning. And we're taking positions in all three groups to ensure hopefully that if there are changes, they are done correctly for the municipalities. But that bill really had some language in there that was, in my opinion, not suitable for a lot of municipalities, including our own.
So Tony, just a quick word of thanks. It could be from me or all of us and all the stuff. You know, the Travelers Tournament, went off, as far as I know. Public safety, everything,
Yep.
town, went off
No
really
problems
well,
with the
right?
tournament.
Yep, no, it was fantastic, great tournament, for sure. The, on that House bill, and I realize you're talking about crystal ball and all, but likely that's gonna come back again, right? It's just a matter of what tweaks are there, and I'm sure this is not gonna stop, right? They're gonna keep pushing on this. And a lot of the things that are in there are probably they're gonna be hard to give up for the folks who are pushing on this, right? Or do you have any sense no, there's definitely some bend there, they'll be happy to get half of what they put there. Do you think they're just gonna keep pushing hard on that, or?
I think they're gonna, the author is adamant. And I believe the governor, and I don't wanna speak for the governor, of course, but wants compromises that certain things are addressed, and I believe that's why he did veto it. But there is strong pushback by those three groups, the Council of Governments throughout the state, CCM and COST, recognizing the detriment effect it could have on a lot of municipalities. It's one thing to have, say, a bus line in your community. It doesn't necessarily mean that the area is capable of handling what the population that could be a potential had that bill been approved.
Well, thank you. Anybody else? Very good?
Yeah, just
Oh, sure, Danny, go ahead, of course.
So the cannabis shop, there is provisions for revenue to come to the town. What is that, and how does that start? And
3%, and it's of the
gross sales?
gross sales, but it's very restrictive as far as what we can use it for.
Mhm. Does it come in as tax revenue, or is it just coming
It
into?
goes to the state, and then they send it to us.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the cannabis dealer, retailer
Gotcha, okay. And that revenue, we won't start to see that for some period of time? Yeah.
Like Tony said, it is very restricted, just like our opioid money that we
Right.
receive.
We should see it, I believe in a year, I think it's a year on that one, isn't it?
What, cannabis?
Yeah,
I thought they had to file quarterly reports.
it might be. I know with the NIPS, small, we see revenue,
They gave it to us when they reported it, I don't know.
yeah, I think it's twice a year, but again, it's very restricted also. We use it mainly for cleanups of streets. And the opioid, as the director pointed out, again, another one, very, very restrictive. And we are paying the salary of
Prevention specialist.
be nice if some of it just came directly to the general fund.
Well, I mean, statement, right? I mean, people are driving to the business like anything else. They're using roads. They're using all the other town services. So why not have someone come down to the town as opposed to being niched into this other stuff?
Yeah, but we are, all the ones that we are eligible to take advantage of, we are taking advantage of. Thank you.
All right, Sharon, our finance director. Thank you for being here, and good evening.
Good evening. So, the budget reports in your packet are, through the end of May. And of course, expenditures are in line except for the transfers that I did here tonight. And then you can see revenue has exceeded, some budgeted levels, in tax collections in total, conveyance taxes, investments, and transfer station passes and building permits. My office is going into year-end close. We've been working with all the departments to close purchase orders, to get all their invoices into us for the year-end. And we are also mid-audit.
James, questions? Ed?
You know, just one thing, which I'm sure is a computer issue, but it's always sort of perfect. On the income page, the revenue page, the numbers go along in exactly the same way they go along on the budget page. And the fourth column is titled year-to-date expenditure.
Oh, that's my bad. I didn't change it. I didn't change the heading. I usually change it to revenue, so that's an error on my part.
It is shown up occasionally then, okay.
Yes, so yes, I typically remember to change it to revenue.
Okay. You obviously should. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Good. Matt?
Just looking at the fund balance report, so thanks for putting in that line item, in terms of the Gilead, whatever we wanna call it. Money that will come back into the general fund, so, thanks, everything looks good.
Jamin?
I guess it's just sort of more of a general comment. On the year-to-date report for the Board of Ed, they have $8,700,000.
They're behind in 2 months in balancing with the town.
Right. Is there any way we can reduce that lag? It's kind of hard to, I mean, I suppose, you know, whatever it is what it is. But,
My office tries.
okay. They don't use the same system? They have like a
No,
separate?
they do not use Munis, but we balance with them and we wait until they're balanced, and they've had a lot of turnover in their finance department, and they are just getting back up to speed, so they do have new people, and the balancing is taking a little longer than normal.
Okay. Okay, so that'll maybe improve a little bit, but I mean,
Yes.
it's not a biggie. There's something I noticed. I was like, what's going on there? And then, anyway, thank you.
Hey, Sharon, just a couple questions. The state of Connecticut, I know right now it looks like, oh, it's a little under, but like last year they surprised us like with even a bigger up and all and stuff. Are you thinking
So-
that's gonna go?
No, I do have an
Favorable?
answer for that.
Sure.
So, our ECS took a $66,000 hit this year. They did 2 prior year adjustments. And I asked the business manager at the Board of Ed what they were, and, he just said they were it's based on population, he said. So they file a report in October, I think, and he said they adjusted our ECS number. So they took that out of our last payment that we got, so that our ECS was short this year.
Great, thank you. So you're not expecting this last little thing to show up and all, it's,
Now that you mentioned that, going back to the 40 million that got appropriated back in February, when we last talked, you had no idea how much we were getting, when it was coming. What happened with that?
What, you mean the 40 million note?
No, the 40 million that the state appropriated for
Oh, we got,
special education.
so we got our portion, and it was 265,000.
Okay, so we didn't get that.
But so that didn't go into our ECS line. That went into the special grants line, which is a Board of Ed line, it's not a town line. Me and the business manager went back and forth about it.
Why, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we went back, cause I thought it should've went into ECS.
Yeah.
He told me the way the appropriation was written, I don't get the emails on that, they go to the Board of Ed, the state, so I don't know, I just know that the money came in and I called him this week on it, cause
Yeah.
I thought it should've went into our ECS line.
Right.
And he said, no, it was strictly special education,
For the use of it.
and, which is a different line item and goes directly to the Board of Ed, so we had to transfer it to their special grants fund.
And you got this ruling from the state, or he told you? that
I got it from him.
I think you should question that with the folks in charge. Which is not him, obviously.
No, it's this was approved in March at the state.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was from March, let's say.
Yeah. It was a, ACH into our bank account? Into ours. Yeah, but it always comes through us, even if it's their special grants money.
I agree with Mr. Mailey.
And like I said, I questioned the business manager a few times. State Department of Education, I'm assuming.
I assume they are the administrators of the grant, so whoever.
I can do that. Yeah, like I said, I disagreed with him.
It's certainly possible that the bill went to that level of specificity, but as you know, the norm for education grants of this sort is to come to the town,
Correct.
so it would be odd. But not unheard of, so, yeah, you could,
I will look into that further.
thank you. So in any case, so the short answer relating to Steve's question is we did get extra money from the state.
Just it didn't go into my revenue lines.
We didn't see it because the Board of Ed took it. And will probably never tell us that they did. So we do need to get back to that question again, on that and other issues. So,
and I realize you're not, probably don't have the answer to this, but somewhere along the way, the Board of Ed was showing some view, not here tonight to speak to it and all, where they were gonna be favorable this year. And I don't know, maybe that's how, now it's all gone, I don't know.
I haven't read their last Board of
Yeah.
Ed meeting minutes.
And I
but
haven't
see,
either.
If you go online, he does put a memo in there, and he
Yeah.
does put a budget report where they are.
Yeah.
And I have not looked at that recently.
Let's just say, I know it's hypothetical, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine too. Let's say they are gonna be favorable, because when, the last time I had looked, I realized I haven't looked recently, but it was like $1 million favorable. Who knows what it is now? And we had some discussion, although I'm not sure formally, like, oh, maybe we'd use some of that money to pay for some of the CNR projects. I don't really know if that's even legally, how mechanically we do that, I don't even know, like, we can't force that, right? Like, it's sort of like that'd be like, if they wanted to, they could, or,
if they have an excess expense, the question becomes, it would normally come back to us. Now, in the last couple of years, we've had this provision about, well, a certain amount stays with them. Yeah.
No, the new law.
That's what I said, stays with them, right?
Yeah, they get to keep their money.
Up to
Yeah, so it used to come to us and we used to put it in a Board of Ed CNR account, but it no longer comes to the town. They get to keep their surplus.
It's not necessarily comes to us, it's their budget.
Right.
It used to have to come before this body.
To decide.
You to give them permission
To-
put it in
Their BOR CNR fund, yeah, so we used to come to you guys and ask you when,
as a result of last year, they did away with having to seek permission from the Board of Finance or or whatever controls, funding in municipalities. And it's automatic up to a certain, point. In our case, it's about 900,000.
Right. But I think it would be helpful for us if you would, for the purposes of our knowing where we are next year, if you could keep track of how much there might be and how much they might keep, if that's the case, so that we will know next year if they have gotten essentially a head start on their next year's budget.
okay.
Okay.
Well, we should know anyways, because they only can keep up to a certain amount.
Right,
And then the remainder goes back to the town.
Right, but again, if it's $1 million, then we'd know that they kept the 900. If it's 800, we'd never know.
No, well, we should track it.
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
No, given that law change and the like, maybe everyone's trying to figure out what the practice is, but I guess, I do realize I'm gonna use the word, in the spirit of the conversation, though, we at least asked, like, could they contribute to the CNR, since we're doing a lot of school things, and if they have extra money, is there even like a process for that even, like, or I just, like, I'm making something up, right?
You can ask all you want, that's about it.
Well, I mean, I think,
This requires people to say things and then do them. But, for example, if they ended up with $1.5 million, which is, I'll guarantee you it won't be that much. But let's say they were. Well, they would keep 900,000 to do something. And we certainly could strongly suggest to them that if you don't use it to do this, we will not allow you to do that. That's certainly within our possibilities.
Or you'll remember it next year.
We'll remember it next year, so to speak, or when you come looking for the, whatever this year's version of the new scoreboard is, we'll remember. The other piece of it, though, is that would leave 600,000 that would actually come back to the town. And, we could use that for Board of Education purposes, including CNR. Or we could use it for anything, but I mean, again, in the spirit, if they use their 900,000 for CNR stuff, we should probably use the other 600 for the same sort of thing.
Yeah, it's true, I guess, again, it's hypothetical, right?
It's all
If they use their 900,000 for like other stuff, but then are still looking for the town to cover the CNR stuff, which
That's
is
a
badly needed.
That's a different
That's
question.
just a bad, I don't know, yeah, that's just not, that's not playing well in
Yeah.
the sandbox,
Yeah.
honestly. Okay. And then, oh, good.
Okay. This is more of a general question. Remember, was at the beginning of this, I guess, fiscal year, we appropriated some very small amount to do some black and white drawings for the high school, to do the parking and tennis courts and track. I just don't remember, I don't recall whatever became of that. Sorry, Tony.
That's all right. 200,000 was appropriated Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him.
Okay.
200,000 was appropriated, we came up with a design for the campus with, all the amenities, including playing football, at the high school, and it didn't pass through planning and zoning. So we went back, planning and zoning wanted another, site plan, and, we put together another site plan that only showed, the soccer fields, elimination of the tennis courts in their present location, expansion of the parking lot, and moving the tennis courts over to the, basically northwest, side of the property. And I think that's about it. Oh, and, upgrading the track and the soccer field inside the track area. So we're trying now to, the track is about, what was the track, 300,000? 400,000? And, tennis courts were about $1.1 million. I forgot what the parking lot was, but, the plan was to do, the track, and the parking lot. And then, at a later date, hopefully at some point, come back and reestablish, the tennis courts, on school property.
Yeah, what's it, like a general timeline for that,
General timeline?
yeah, general timeline for just the track and the parking?
Well, we put in, to the state for state bonding, and we were not successful on the track. And, we're looking at, possibly, putting something together to present, to the, council and to, this commission, whether, we have to check further. I'm still not there yet. I have to talk to the bond advisor. If it's worth, in addition to when we bond the school, is it worth, tacking on and addressing some of those issues as well as some of the important, drainage issues?
Okay.
The mayor's asked me to look at a few things also.
And then what was the rough estimate on just converting or expanding the parking lot to where the tennis courts are now?
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head what the parking lot, but if I remember right, it would give us another 95, I think, parking stalls.
Yeah.
They really need additional parking stalls at the high school.
Okay. Now, I know they're kind of using the tennis court area as some extra storage for the soccer goals.
Yeah, so I heard.
I guess at some point that will not be a luxury there. So I don't know what they had done before, but have to move them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks. Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like more to come on that. Thank you.
Sharon or Tony, you mentioned it, I guess it might be Tony, the bonding then, is it that, were you thinking like we might bond, whatever the numbers for the school, if it's 35, 37, whatever million it is and all, that it might end up being like 50 million because you might want to bond more to do some other stuff? Is that what we were saying?
I'm not sure. Sharon and I still need to talk, and we need to put together a list, prioritize it, and see if it's worth it, and see if we can determine exactly what the impact's going to be on our portion of 72.6 million.
Right, got it, okay. More to come on that, that's what
I don't think we were thinking like a $10, $15 million overhang.
Well, right now, we're probably responsible for about 40 million. Contemplating what?
What did we expect it to be when we started?
40 million.
Yeah.
It'd be nice
Wait a
if
minute,
it
I
was,
didn't think we were.
when I do
saying,
projects, I
let's
like
make
to
it
see
10
if I can
million
bring them in under,
Maybe,
but,
but when we were just talking about doing the track for 40 and a parking lot for like 50.
yeah, so, trying to see if it's worth 40 million plus And that would still have to go to the people after it gets through the council and this body. It would have to go to referendum, and if the taxpayers are willing to even support doing something additional. But I'm not there yet, and again, we need to discuss it, because I'm concerned about what the impact's gonna be on, as a result of the new middle school.
I appreciate you even just thinking about it and looking at options. That's great. I did have one question that came up in public comment, in the legal thing, the transfer adjustment of 3.4 million, just process-wise. Should that have come, should somebody have come here, and should we have approved or no?
You approved 5 million. I talked to
3 years ago, or 2 years ago,
I
whatever.
talked to the auditor about this, to make sure everything was, yeah. When you approved the 5 million, that's when it got approved.
I don't want to use the wrong term, but this is like the mechanics of it now, showing up in these things and.
Yes, and it took us a few months to figure out how we were gonna book it and do it, so that, you know, and then also, the payments came swift and fast on me, and they needed to be made by like a certain time.
Do you want me to comment, or no? or-
Well, no, I mean, we didn't, you know, I assumed the court opened it up so we had ability to write checks off of it, and we did. And that left us with X amount of dollars in an account, which the court had then, by that point, brought back into our control.
Correct.
Right, so we had we had the money, sort of as a trustee, so to speak, for the, whatever, 3 years, however long the time was. And then the court removed the trust, or whatever, document restriction. So we simply just had it again. Now it was back in our possession. So it was just a matter of a question of where the auditors thought we should put it, right?
Yes,
Right, okay, and where did we put it?
I put it in legal fees and I put it under judgments.
Under legal fees. So was it
Under judgments.
under judgments, but it
Yes,
was
and
a, so we treated it as if we had won some money.
It was, that's where the auditor thought it best fit, was in the legal fees, because one of the payments was for legal fees for,
You're asking what was left?
Yeah, where's the amount that's left? No, where's the amount that's,
that's
General fund.
for the general fund.
right, so it's just sitting there as an
It's
asset.
just sitting there,
Yeah,
yes.
right,
Right.
okay.
That was my comment to Sharon about it being on the fund balance report, just showing the Gilead, amount, I guess, yeah, coming back into fund balance
But it,
availability.
yeah, it may not even, I'm assuming it's probably not even in a separate account anymore, right?
No, we
No.
closed the account.
It's in the general fund.
Right, so it's just big pile of money, you know. Some of it came from here, some of it came from there.
So, report of the tax collector. Brian,
Good evening again. So I have two documents I'd like to review tonight. The first one is the monthly cash collection report through May. So you can see the deposits through May for the town were 51.6 million. After we take out the bounce checks and the transfers and the tax refunds, we have net collections through May of $51.4 million. Against our revenue of 51 million, you can see we're 396,000 favorable above budget through the end of May, which puts us at 100.78% of our budget. I would like to point out that on that column on the far right, where it totals that we're ahead by 396, you can see we're still, through the end of May, trailing on current year tax collections by $34,000. So our surplus is all based on interest and prior year taxes. My expectation is that end of this month will be right around budget on the current year taxes. So the budgeting and collections came together just about exactly on budget. I'd like to move to the second page, which is the trend of the percent collection rate based on budget, so it takes that 100.78%, and shows you against the history of prior years.
This is at the end.
Should be an Excel sheet in your packet.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, very last page.
it's way at the back here.
Way in the back. So that top set of data is the percent collection rate to budget, so you can see how the 100.78 fares. Most years, it's around 101%, and where I expect to end up end of this month is around 101%, just even for the year. You can see on the second table below on the net cash collections, we've collected about $700,000 more money this year than we ever have collected as far as tax revenue. And end of the year, we probably will be a shade under $1 million, but 800,000 above, our prior collections. The final thing I wanted to mention this evening, I'll take some questions, is so what I've been working on the past month or so, the assessor, based on all your work on the mill rate, completed the grand list, it's submitted. We've been working on the bill preparation. We've got 21,000 bills that I've just approved for mailing on Monday. So all of the real estate, motor vehicle, and personal property bills will get mailed on Monday, 6:30. They'll be available for taxpayers to pay online on Tuesday the 1st, and we'll start collecting for the next tax year. I know everyone, when I got into this job, the first thing I learned was because we put due July 1st on the tax bill, it creates a lot of anxiety on the 1st when they get the bill, and I was one of those people as well. So I just wanted to use this forum and also just use your network to, just make sure people know it's printed on the bill. They're not delinquent until after August 1st, so I want to make sure people know they have the whole month of July to make payment. And looking forward to successful collection for the month.
Great.
Take any questions you have.
Jamin?
Just great job all around. Thank you.
So is that a required, legal statement?
The statement,
The
yeah.
bills
So
are due July 1?
The state requires that all towns collect all their taxes on July 1st, and then they said, well, the towns can do installments, and the towns can make that first payment 30 days late. So even though they never changed the law that says they all have to say due July 1st, you have these kind of exceptions. So there's a logic to it, but it is confusing to taxpayers, so I try to make sure everyone's aware of that.
Cool, thanks.
Done? Good, Dan?
I'm good, thank you.
Ed?
Brian, I'm sorry, did I see, what did you say you thought the percentage was gonna be at the end of the year?
Just shy of 51%, so something like 50.
No,
I'm-
I mean,
Oh, sorry, 100, I mean, just under 101%. So like
101%,
yeah.
okay. I
So
thought
I'm
you said-
thinking like 100.9,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that,
All
yeah.
right, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Questions. So, in our mill rate process setting and all this stuff, we have a vigorous debate about like what to set the collection factor at and so on and so forth, right? So I think the factor is at 98.85 right now, and being at 99.93, it's 99.93 of 98.85,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So if you happen to get it, like a few more dollars come in, whatever, the 34,000 comes in, it was 100%, it'd be 100% of 98.85.
That sounds correct.
Correct,
Yeah.
okay. And then the other three lines on that page are sort of the tax, we listed as tax other than current year. In those three items, we usually seem to now perennially set it at 775,000. And this year, it just happens to be a year, we're gonna end up like with 1.2 million. So we're gonna end up favorable 430 thereabouts, I think. I know I'm speaking, it's your numbers, but that's about right? It's those three items are gonna roughly be favorable 430 or so, right?
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
Didn't we find those, Steve, sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we're talking about the percent of collection, is it because if you look on this page, the back page, that includes prior year? Okay, that's what we kinda,
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's what I was
yeah.
saying, I was just, we
Yeah.
talked about it so many times, that's why I'm thinking. The motor vehicle tax changes, going off of MSRP, et cetera, and I can't remember if you had explained that to us or not, but that's gonna be new for this year, right? So when people get their motor vehicle tax bills, it's gonna be different than it has been in prior years, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And I know there's probably different situations, but is it generally that it's gonna be higher for people, or neutral, or, and I realize probably some fight for up and down, but is it more generally it's gonna be higher?
The legislative body every year decide how they wanna.
Well, that's like on the depreciation schedule.
Right.
So just go, and so there's a couple moving parts. The
Yeah.
depreciation schedule is available to the town to change that, but the town of Cromwell didn't elect to do that this time. What you're, I think, referring to is how do we value the vehicle, how does the assessor value motor vehicles? So they are gonna use MSRP starting this year. I don't wanna say it's either gonna be generally higher or lower. My suspicion is, but I don't wanna give people hope, a little bit lower, actually. But the one thing you can take for certain is because of that's the way the calculation we made, it'll ladder down in a very logical way. So people don't have to worry about, hey, my car's in great shape, or I added a spoiler. It won't matter. Your car will depreciate per the MSRP. So I think where that starting point, I had the same question. I looked at some bills. It seems like the anecdotal like for the net for the town, it's almost even. So I would say it's almost even. So I would say some people are gonna pay higher and some lower, but the ones I looked at, seemed like they went a little bit lower, honestly.
Thank you. And then going all the way back to last year, the new system that went in, now we're a year into that and all. And if there is someone new in the tax collector role come the fall, like, do you feel now like that system and people, like it's up and running, we feel like we're in pretty good with that there, we shouldn't be having the same kind of bumps, even if someone new comes in and has to try to learn, it's all pretty solid at this point?
I think the standard bank deposit process, which is the majority, is in a much better place. So working with finance, we installed a new software system with Webster Bank to avoid the problems that were in place 2 years ago. So the basic receiving 1,000 paper checks, which is the predominant way the taxes are collected, a number of pieces anyway, that I think is in a much better shape. There are some opportunities before I leave the position. I'll certainly try to get done with, using the cloud and improvement on credit card collections and things that I would like to see happen. But I would say the blocking and tackling, the basics, are in better shape now.
Thank you for everything you've done for the town, and,
Sure.
really great stuff, so thank you.
All right, welcome.
Great,
Thank you.
everyone all set, Brian? Good, thank you, thank you. To a school building update.
Okay. So yeah, guys, after the meeting, I will email around the latest packet. There's loaded with pictures, aerial drone photos of the building, which at this point is nearing completion. Like, they're going through what they call their punch list stuff. So it's, hey, the hardware wasn't put on the door or here, or just small, minutia work. All the major systems are up and running. The central admin folks are expected to move in, I believe, on June 30th or maybe July 1. And I think on July 1, they're going to cut the power to the old middle school completely. So that will be completely, I guess, offline from an energy standpoint. And the demolition will begin shortly thereafter. And a couple other things. We also, as part of an energy audit or energy rebate applications that we put in for, we're gonna get $511,000 back in energy rebates, and that's gonna come to the town. So, next fiscal year, I believe, because they're not gonna get it done in the next 5 days. In terms of important dates, so the school is going to open on Wednesday, the August 27th. There will be an official ribbon cutting ceremony there, sort of like when we did the official groundbreaking ceremony. It's going to be kind of a cast to a small group of folks, the different boards in town, etc. I'll get you guys the information on that. That might be at 4 p.m. But as we approach that date, I'll share that with you. but more importantly and more immediately, on Thursday, July 10th, I worked with one of the folks in the construction company, Arcadis, to arrange a tour of the building. So anyone that's interested, just let me know. I'll extend the invite to anyone with Board of Finance. There will be also a public open house, if you will, but that's gonna be later in September. So I don't have my notebook offhand for the date of that. And yeah, we continue to, be on time for things and under budget. We have, I was just looking at the actual financial numbers, I guess through June 1st, we've paid to date roughly 43 million, out of an encumbered balance of 67 million. And we remain 5.8 million unencumbered. So that's bid savings and owner contingency. So we'll see. We still have the demolition phase to go through, the planting for the soccer field and the finishing of the bus loop. But yeah, everything's looking positive.
You know what time that will be on the 10th?
Noon, yeah, noon on the 10th. Yep. On Thursday, July 10th.
Okay, Jamie, any questions from,
No, I'm good.
Dan?
So do we have a shed?
Yes, Claudio's taking care of it out of his own, or the board CNR.
Yes, and fortunately, they're doing it the right way.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ed, good, James, anything?
At noon on July 10th, yeah.
No, please, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more, so,
Can I bring anybody, or is it just,
Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, for July 10th, they're, like, imagine you're throwing a big party, like, they're just like scrambling all over the place, so I think, like, no kids unfortunately, so just
Yeah, no
adults, or the Board of Finance, pretty much, yeah.
okay.
Demolition, kind of the timeline of moving the school and redoing the grounds and all that, what's the thinking on that right now?
Yeah, the actual demo and like the building, I think is mostly gonna be gone, by the end of the
Prior to
summer.
school.
But the bus loop itself, won't be ready for the first, couple months of school,
Got
I
it.
think.
The soccer field to come.
The soccer field, I don't know, they're gonna try to have it for the spring planting season?
Next season.
Next season.
Yeah.
The debate now is soccer netting.
Debate what?
The debate now is soccer netting.
Oh,
Yeah, whether to have, nets as
Right.
a blocking for the houses.
no, I got you, yeah,
Along the
yeah,
property
yeah,
line there,
Yeah,
yeah.
you think about that, but yeah, it's pretty close.
So Matt, just walk me through again, so the 511,000
Yeah.
rebates, that's
Yeah.
gonna come sometime in fiscal year 26?
Yeah, they have to.
Okay, is that gonna drop in our general fund then, or? like the
As I
money
understand,
falling out of the
it's not
sky?
coming back to it's not coming back to the building committee or anything,
Okay.
or the project.
And it's not going to the schools,
Right.
it's going to the town? Okay, well, that's good.
That sound familiar, Sharon?
Thanks,
I just
please.
heard about it at the town council meeting
Okay,
last week.
yeah. Yep.
And so if I could just follow up, so you're gonna spend that much less on the school, is that where the number comes from?
Oh, 511 would be, like equivalent to, you install brand new windows and then you seek federal energy credits. I think it's the same thing, so like Eversource did an energy efficiency audit of the materials and said, oh, under these plans, you get 300,000, and then it was, there's a supplemental plan capped at 211, and you get that
Okay.
as well. So there's still some paperwork to be filed, maybe like a walkthrough. Okay, this was installed, and then the money goes to the owner, and the owner is the town of Cromwell. Is why it was explained to be going back to the town.
So we're getting a grant.
It's a rebate. I don't know, energy credit rebates,
Oh, yeah.
we've spent the money, we put in the mechanicals, we put in the
No, I
energy
know.
efficient actions, and then they say, great, good job. Here's an incentive for you doing that, here's $511,000.
I guess my only question is, and I don't know why I care, are we getting the money back from Eversource, or are we getting it back from the federal government? From Eversource.
I believe it's
So it's a
Yeah.
rebate from the
Yeah,
provider.
it's rebate from the provider.
Okay.
Again, whether they get it from something that the state allows them to administer, I don't know, I could
think so.
ask, but,
I think it's
I mean, I don't
them
know if it's under
encouraging
their-
us to spend less money on,
Somebody is.
yeah.
yeah. Someone subsidizing
I
somebody
believe it is, yeah.
for good public policy, so.
Actually, of course, in the end, the ratepayers are paying for it.
So that'll just like flow to our fund balance then, like our fund balance will go up by 511K? General fund.
Yeah, I imagine it'll show up in the miscellaneous sources.
Okay, great.
When it comes to.
And the solar panel stuff.
Yep.
Approval and timing, I know there was like, not gonna happen, maybe happen. Just
Yeah,
what's the latest on that?
There's, we did submit the interconnection application to Eversource, to primarily, I think, get feedback on, what, if any, grid upgrades might be needed depending on the size of the system. So, this is on a longer timeline. I know initially we were saying, hey, this is something that we'll get in the fall. There's many steps to go back. We have to go back to the state, so that they can approve this as another phase of the project, and then, we have to go out to bid for it, and then if we're getting this around November, December, no, we're not gonna practically do the install, and there's lead time for the material, so they're thinking this is more of a spring, install
Sure.
execution, but the process and all that I'll keep you guys posted as to where it stands, but we're not even at the phase yet where we're kind of like going out to bid or again, we last met, on June, the hell did we meet? The Wednesday before last, so yeah, I don't have any new updates, on the solar. Yeah.
Thank you. Good. All right, chairman's comments, I'm gonna skip. Vice chairman's comments, I just wanna say, thank you for being here in the summer, it's been hot and all, and, I don't know if we're gonna have a July meeting or not. We'll have to, I guess, see, if that's gonna happen, maybe a vacation in July, I don't know, we'll see. But again, thanks, Tony, Sharon, Brian, thanks for being here tonight as well, so thank you. Anything else for good and welfare of the Board of Finance? If not, can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, meeting is over, thank you.